Welcome to this Spirit Gathering teleconference. Thank you so much for joining us today, which is March 17th, 2020. Happy St. Patrick's Day for those who celebrate. My name is Reverend Peggy Malnati, and I'm in the Detroit area, and I'm assisted today by Co-Bishop Diane Wyan, who is handling the technical aspects of our call and also holding energy. And today's call will be a guided meditation to visit an ancient lost temple in the Himalayas, where we will each speak with an elder about what the next 12 months hold for us. And before we leave, we'll each be given a new spirit guide to assist us in dealing with what lies ahead. And given what this year has been so far in the first 3 months, I'm sure it will be a very interesting journey. If you didn't remember, please to bring some paper and a pen with you to write down any messages that you receive. You may want to nip out and get some of that right now. Or you can just trust that you'll remember exactly what you're supposed to remember. Just a reminder that we're recording this call so that people who couldn't be here tonight in person can listen in afterward. To keep the recording quiet, please press either your phone's mute button, if you have one, or *6 to mute your line. And when it's your turn to call or to talk, you just do the opposite. You unmute your call by pressing the same button you used to mute it. So either your mute button or *6 again. Our agenda tonight is as follows. We're going to start with brief introductions using a virtual talking stick. We're going to do a calling in of energies to support the work. And then we're going to do an induction where you'll sit or lay back, and I'll begin talking with you, and we'll begin getting you relaxed. Then we'll do the guided meditation. And then 5 minutes before we're ready to return, I'll give you a warning bell. And that's actually a real Tibetan dorje bell made with 7 metals. And that'll be when you hear that bell, that'll be your warning to kind of wrap things up with the elder. And then I will guide you back. The whole meditation will take about 25 to 30 minutes. After that, we'll have a brief sharing. We'll do a checkout, which is a one-word description of how you're leaving the circle. I'll read some closing comments. And then we'll have a short blessing, and we'll adjourn. So, since there's only Diane and I on tonight, Diane, would you like to give a brief introduction and introduce yourself to anybody that happens to be on the call later?
Sure. Thank you. I'm Diane Wyan. I live in Annandale, Virginia, which is just outside of Washington, D.C. And I have been a Tzaddi member since '05, and got healer, counselor, and reverend, and have studied with Amy Skizis, who has the company Roselight and was the previous presiding bishop. And I'll just say my work history has been in the online information industry with, for 12 years, LexisNexis, and then 12 years with a patent database company. And I currently consult doing patent research, but I also do coaching, usually for people who are in transition from one job to another with a company that has support structure around that. And I think that's all. I'm complete. Thank you.
And again, I am Peggy Malnati. I'm in the Detroit suburbs. I have been with Tzaddi since 1995. I've studied with an awful lot of our teachers and many of the light centers that used to be here in Detroit. And my day job is as a journalist in the automotive industry, not surprising given my location. So I, too, am complete. So now I'd like to call in energies to support the work that we're doing tonight. I'll be using a rattle. I walk primarily a Native American spiritual path with some Tibetan Buddhist and Tibetan Bon kind of flavorings on the side. So I'll be calling it in my way. And at the end, I'll open it up for you to call in whatever energies you would like, energies of the light, to support us and keep us safe and help us have a powerful journey. Creator, Great Spirit, Great Mystery, Earth Mother, Wabin, Great Golden Eagle, Spirit Keeper of the East, Shawnadisi, Coyote, and your little helpmate Mouse, Spirit Keepers of the South, Wajikiwas, Great Grizzly Bear, Spirit Keeper of the West, Waboose, Great White Buffalo, Spirit Keeper of the North. I call to the Spirit Keepers of the 5 elements, the 4 seasons, the clan grandmothers and grandfathers of earth and sky. I call to each of our own spirit guides, angels, and master teachers. And now, would you like to call in anyone else? If yes, please call out loud.
Athabascar, Oren, Javan, and Flo. Sorry?
Go ahead. We're all calling them in at the same time.
Okay. And the flow, alignment, and connection beings of light.
Oh. If you think of someone else you want in here, you can just think them into the circle, and it'll be as though they were here from the very start. Okay. So now I invite you to sit back or lay down. Ideally, you want to keep your spine straight. If you're sitting, ideally you want your feet on the ground. You may want to have your notepad and pen nearby if you're somebody who can go on a meditation journey and still keep enough of your consciousness aware that you can take notes while you go. You can take notes as you go. Otherwise, I will give you some time at the end to take notes if you would like to. So we're going to begin by kind of rolling our shoulders, cracking our necks, kind of get the kinks out. You'll want to start breathing in deeply, in with your nose, out with your mouth if you can, and try to make each breath a little bit longer than the last one. Try to keep the in-breath and the out-breath about the same length. And what this does is it helps you shift from the sympathetic to the parasympathetic nervous system, just help you relax and get into a space where it'll be more easy for you to take off on an interesting journey. So a few more breaths, and you can return to breathing in and out with your nose. Then you may want to kind of roll your shoulders, get as comfortable as you can. And we are waking up at dawn in a small village, in a valley surrounded by immense mountains, the youngest mountains in the world, the Himalayas. This valley and this little village is very hard to get to. Very few people know about this village. But you now know about it, and you will be able to return anytime you wish. The people in this village, they help maintain a very ancient temple that we're going to walk up to. We're going to walk up a mountain to get to. This temple has been continuously used for millennia, and the people of this village, they keep everything working well. They built a walkway. They keep it shoveled. They entertain visitors like us, and they do an immense service to the planet by keeping this temple both protected but also accessible to those of us who walk a path of light. the family that you stayed with is giving you breakfast, some butter tea and some bread with some yak, cheese. These people have a hard life, so before you leave this house, you'll want to thank these villagers. Thank them for their immense kindness in letting you stay in their home last night, for sharing their hard-won provisions with you. Each of us is wearing either clothes that have some deep pockets in it, or perhaps we have a satchel over our shoulders. And if we reach into our pocket or our satchel, we will pull out a gift that will be perfect for these villagers who have taken care of us and who we want to express our gratitude back to. So now you've given your gift to the villagers. You're going to grab your coat and hat and mittens, your outdoor gear, and you're going to bid them goodbye. We will be leaving a different way, so you will not see them again until you visit this area again in your dreams or in meditation. So our group is gathering outside in a little kind of central area in the village. And it's a beautiful day. The sun is coming up over the mountains. The air is crisp, but it's still warm on our faces. And we're now moving toward a walkway, which we are going to enter and get up onto. And now we will begin the path up the mountain. We will make 3 loops around the mountain to get to the lost temple. And since it's still so very comfortable, you may have your mittens and your hats tucked into your jackets. Your jackets may still be open. Enjoy the sunshine. And as we walk up this wooden path, this walkway, there are ropes on both sides where we can put our hands and use it as kind of a hand grip to help us. It's not steep where we are right now, but as we climb higher in the pathway to the mountain, it will get steeper, and it may be helpful at that point to be able to grab onto these ropes to help pull you up. So as we begin to walk, we're full of excitement, we're full of interest and energy, we're chatting. We know it's a big honor to be invited to visit this temple. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about what we're going to do there. So as I've already said, we'll make 3 loops around the mountain, and then we will walk into the temple. When we first get there, we'll have an opportunity to sit down and get some more butter tea, or you'll find there's some really interesting altars in the central room in this temple, which is built into the side of the mountain. And we will wait for an acolyte or a monk or nun to come and invite us down a hallway. And then each of us will walk down this hallway, and there will be a doorway. There will be doorways on either side of the hall all the way down. They're very interesting doors. They're all different shapes and sizes. Some are very tall, some are very short. And you'll know, use your intuition to figure out which door you should enter. And when you enter it, you'll find an ancient elder of some sort from some tradition. And that elder will greet you, and you will give your spirit name or your legal name to that elder, and the elder will probably tell you his or her name, If not, you can ask. You will reach again into your pockets or your pouch, and you will pull out a gift for that elder and present it to thank him or her for the wisdom that he or she will be sharing with you. And then you're going to sit and listen. The elder is going to tell you some things about what the next 12 months hold in store for you. And it's kind of an appropriate time to do this because we're doing this recording just before the spring equinox, which is the start of the astrological calendar year. So it's a propitious time to be making this journey to this lost temple. The elder, at some point in your interview, which will last about 15 minutes, will give you a new spirit guide to help you for the year. That spirit guide may end up staying with you forever, or it may stay with you just for the year, and then it may leave when whatever it came in to teach you or help you and support you is over. If the elder has not given you the guide by the time I ring the bell, you'll want to make sure you ask for your guide. You can ask the elder what the guide's name is, and you can ask what the elder or what the guide is there to teach you. So those are all appropriate things to ask. As we are walking along the walkway, we look up and we notice that there's a double rainbow between the mountains. We also can see that the wind is picking up and blowing snow off of the mountain, and the ice crystals are forming little diamonds in the sky. We also notice that we're most of the way around the first ring, and it's getting steeper and it's getting colder. So we may decide to pull out our mittens, pull out our hats and put them on, and we may want to zip up our coats at least part way now. And since the going is a little bit steeper and it's colder and windier, we aren't as outwardly focused. We aren't chatting with each other as much. We're now more focused inward, anticipating what we might learn from the elder about what's in store for us in the next 12 months, perhaps anticipating what kind of spirit guide we might be given. We look up again and we notice that there are Garudas. Those are eagles, a special kind of eagle that lives in the Himalayas. We can see a number of them circling around. They fly very high in these mountains. And as we look up, we can see we're now high enough on the mountain that we can see sort of an overhang. And that area, that overhang, up on that plateau is where the temple is. It's built right into the side of the mountain. So that's our goal. We are now 2 rings around, 2 paths around the mountain. We've got 1 more ring to complete. And again, it's getting steeper. We definitely need the ropes to hold on to the rope poles on either side. And our legs are starting to let us know that we haven't walked up steep slopes in a while, and we're, again, more inwardly focused. The wind is blowing harder, so we keep our heads down and our faces down so the wind doesn't batter our faces as much. And we're, again, thinking. We're moving inward, deeper inside, anticipating what we might learn, thinking about what this year has already, the calendar year has already brought us in the last 3 months, and thinking about what might lie ahead of us. and we have just a little ways more to go. You'll notice again that it's gotten steeper still, and it's more work and more effort to climb now. But we're almost to the top. We can see the bulge on the side of the mountain where the temple is located, so we know it's not much further. And now we can see that the wooden walkway that we have been walking has ended, and we are now standing in front of some stone steps, which we are going to walk up. There are 5 steps to climb, and then we are going to walk along a stone walkway to the temple. And at this point, we can see the temple. We can see the outside of the temple. We can see how it has been literally carved into the living rock, the living mountain. The temple has huge pair of doors with very large hinges. Although as we get closer, we notice that there is a much smaller door, more human-sized door, toward the bottom of one of the halves of the door, and that's where we will actually enter. And there's a couple of steps to walk up, and now we're going to knock, and then we're going to open the door, and we're going to step inside the temple. And once you get in, you'll notice there's a large, round room. And what's interesting about this room is all along the outside edge, there are little niches carved into the wall, into the stone, and there are statues, and there are lamps in front of those statues. And those statues represent nearly every god, goddess, deity that has been worshipped on earth since humans evolved and began ceremonial and ritual practices. So there's also, if you are interested, you may, while we wait to be invited to visit the elders, you can walk along and look at the altars. If there's one that particularly calls out to you, you'll find that there's a little tiny brazier there, and you can offer some resin or some incense, or you can light a candle. Or if you're simply tired from the walk, there is a small table in the center of the room on which there is a pot of nice hot tea, and you may sit down on the cushions on the floor and pour yourself a cup of tea while we wait. And now toward our left, an acolyte has pulled back a tapestry to reveal a doorway. And so we are now being invited down the hall. So we stand. You can leave your coats and boots and exterior clothing there in the room. We will be back out in about 15 minutes. And we're going to quietly walk single file down the hallway. And again, listen to your intuition. You will know which door is the appropriate door for you to enter. And again, when you get inside, you'll meet your elder. You'll introduce yourself. You'll give that elder a gift. The elder will tell you who he or she is. And you'll sit down and let the elder tell you whatever needs to be told. And I will, 5 minutes before it's time to leave, I will call you back with the bell. So enjoy your visit.
Thank you.
And now it's time to leave. Thank you. Thank your elder. Grab your spirit guide, and we'll now meet out in the round circular room. And when we're all assembled, we'll walk out of the door, thanking the acolytes who keep this temple so nice, keep it safe, keep the prayers going 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They're praying for all sentient beings on this planet. So wave to them, thank them, honor them. If you feel moved, there may be something else in your pocket that you could give as a gift as you leave. And now we walk out from the muted light in the big room into the bright sunshine and snow. And out in the courtyard, pardon? And out in the courtyard, we see some giant eagles, some Garudas. And this is how we are going to leave. We're going to leave much more quickly than we arrived. So there is one eagle for each of us. You can look at them and you'll just intuitively know which eagle is the one who's calling to you. When you go over to the eagle, these are very big eagles. They're taller than we are. They're bigger than horses. You'll put your hand on the beak, on that eagle's beak, introduce yourself, ask if you may have a ride. The eagle will probably introduce him or herself, and assuming that the answer is yes, you may have a ride, he or she will sink down, and you will climb onto the eagle, and you'll find just how warm and soft the eagle's feathers are as you snuggle in around his neck or her neck. And again, in your pocket or your satchel, you'll find a gift, a snack for the eagle who is going to fly us back to our homes. Again, you can wave to the monks and the nuns that keep this temple sacred. And all of a sudden, all of our Garudas, our eagles, jump into the air, and we're suddenly flying. And it is so beautiful. Again, we can see the snow being blown off the mountain, and as the sunlight falls on it, it looks like little ice crystals, like little diamonds in the sky. It is a very beautiful day in this part of the world. Because our Garudas fly so high and they're so big, our return trip is much faster. We are already much of the way past Central Asia, heading toward Europe. And when we get to Greece, we're going to kind of hang a left and head toward North America. We're crossing the Atlantic Ocean much faster than you could cross by ship. It's interesting to look at the curve of the earth and look at the clouds and look at the sun as we are moving through time zones, and the sun is setting ahead of us, moving toward afternoon and nighttime. And now we're starting to see the outlines of North America. And when you see your own home area, the Garuda will drop you and bring you right down to your own home. When you are left in your own home, please, again, reach into your pouch and see if there is another gift, another snack for the Garuda who has flown so far, thousands and thousands and thousands of miles to bring you back safely to your home and your body. And once you get into your body, open your eyes, stretch, and I'll give you a couple of minutes to take notes if you'd like, and then we'll share what our experiences were. Are you ready, Diane?
Yes.
Okay. So, would you like to share anything about your experience?
Yeah, it was really interesting. Thank you for that journey. It was fun to, for every step along the way. And I went, when we met with the elder and when we had the meeting in that class in the temple, I guess, it took several minutes to get comfortable. Like, the room didn't feel quite right, and yet it was the room I was to be in. And then there were carpets added that were warm and cozy, and that really brought comfort and safety. And then the elder was, like in many Japanese paintings, with the older man in sort of a robe with a very long, thin beard. That's who was there. And then we exchanged, and it was sort of like holding space. I didn't get any particular message from him. It was more just being, it was important. It seemed to just be in the space together. And then he shifted into, melted into gold that then became sort of melted gold on the floor. And this very young monk, Tibetan monk in the maroon and gold robe, I don't know what the proper name is for what they wear. And he was very young, but his feet were on this gold that was this older man that had turned into that. And it was clear that was support and wisdom for him to become the master that he is slated to be. And he had this look of very wide-eyed and sort of a newness. And and a an awareness that he wasn't yet who he was going to become, and he's in the process of becoming this master. And it's anticipation with a little excitement, a little fear, a little mix of all those things. And there kept being this focus back down to where his feet were, which were on this gold that was this other wise being who was supporting him in that form. So it feels like that was there for some new part of me that is to evolve with the support of significant wisdom. And I will say, when the older man was there and transmitting, it was this very clear rod of golden light from first chakra to the earth and then up through the seventh and above. Very strong and powerful. So it seems that this very young monk is evolving into new, but yet going to evolve in seems like quick time, with his feet resting on a lot of wisdom and support and strength.
Well, that sounds like a very interesting journey, and I'm sure that you will get more out of this as, you may want to pay attention to your dreams, and, as you meditate over the coming days, you may find some more interesting things coming through on this. And now you know how to get back to the Mystic Temple, the Lost Temple.
Yeah. Thank you.
I'd encourage you to, visit it often. It's a really fascinating place.
I can see that, and I appreciate the journey to get there. It was fun.
Yeah. And when you do it yourself, you can do it more like an actual journey where, you know the gist of where you're going, and you can take as long or as little time as you need to get there.
Great. Well, thank you for that journey. It was great.
You're more than welcome. So I would invite you we'll do a little checkout and see what kind of energy each of us is leaving the circle with.
Sort of excitement and newness, a new energy.
And I am leaving it with anticipation. So thank you so much for joining us physically, Diane, and for all of those who will come afterwards and listen to this recording of the Spirit Gathering teleconference. The call may be archived as an MP3 at www.tzaddi.org. And for the next roughly month, you'll be able to access the call by phone by dialing 712-432-1085. That's a very similar number to the number you dial in to join the call live, but the last four digits are 1085. You'll use the same access code, which was 990322#. We hope you'll join us for our next Spirit Gathering on April 21st. These calls are hosted by Tzaddi, an interspiritual metaphysical organization founded in California in 1964. Tzaddi welcomes nurtures and supports people in celebrating and more directly experiencing their relationship with the loving presence of the divine. Our programs are open to people of any race, color, or national or ethnic origin, and we invite you to visit tzaddi.org to learn more. And we'll close now with thanks and a blessing. We give thanks to Tzaddi founders Amy Keyes and Dorothy Blackmere. We thank all of you who have been part of our community tonight and down through the ages, the years. I thank Diane for holding space tonight. And we thank the divine who supports us always, even when we are not aware. Diane, would you be willing to give a short blessing? Diane, would you be willing to
Sure.
give a short
Yes. Sure. Thanks to all who are here to support us, visibly and invisibly. And thanks to each of us for coming to this spirit gathering to support and nurture our unfolding into greater love and light and flow. May many blessings be upon you. Thank you.
Aho Matakoyasin. We wish everyone a good night. Thank you.